All right, so this is an article I found from Brene Brown, of course. Um, this is back in her earlier days when she was working on shame. This research paper was simultaneously published with her book, Gifts of Imperfection, or at least the research goes hand in hand. And so I just wanted to highlight some of the things that she uses kind of as evidence of what grounded theory looks like in the research itself. So I have I have this article in the references section if you want to look it up. It's pretty cool. This is page one. Page two is where the meat of what I want to say can be found from Cresswell's list of evaluations. Um, Brene very explicitly hits all of the requirements. Um, First, making explicit the process or action at the heart of the study. Well, in the first under aim, she says that the purpose of this study is to generate a theory, which is also an element that is important to include. A theory grounded in data that explains how women experience shame. So it's founded in the process of how women experience shame. And of course, skipping to the end of the study, right here. Here. The theory emerging from this process is termed shame resilience theory. So at the end, she clearly states the theory that she finds. The design, she talks about how it's grounded theory. She talks a little bit about Glasser and Strauss. She says she ended up using the emergence design or emerging design. She used theoretical sampling, coding, and theoretical memoing. Under sample, she says theoretical sampling again, and she talks about when using theoretical sampling, the researcher simultaneously collects codes and analyzes data and uses this ongoing process to determine what data to collect next and where to find them. Talks about coding. She talks about the categories she created. Um, let's see here. She uses the constant comparative method. She uses selective coding. And she also talks about how this approach is different from other traditional qualitative methods in that it yields findings based on thick description of data and participant quotes, as opposed to just a whole lot of data. It's founded in the participants and what they have to say. One thing that is a requirement is a visual link between data and categories and theory. And here on this page and on this page, you can see that there's a clear visual of what the data looks like, so the reader can conceptualize it a little bit. Here are clear categories: being trapped, being powerless, being isolated, that Dr. Brown identifies. And finally, the links or the visuals also serve as, again, links between the data and the categories. So she kind of hits two birds with one stone there, making it a visual representation. And finally, the cool thing too is that everything we've been reading in Cresswell and Holosko, or however you pronounce that name, this this research paper or study article is pretty clear, pretty concise, and it follows all of the rules, at least quickly glancing at it. It's pretty cool, and it ends with um, future research, things like that. Again, I think Brene Brown is brilliant and I love her work, so I highly suggest checking it out. And if you want to check out the reference and look for yourself, this is a pretty thorough and pretty good example of what grounded theory research and emerging design look like. Thank you.